Hey guys, and welcome to game number 96 out of 100 of the Mack vs. Machine series, where I'll be playing 100 games of Scrabble against the top online bot, HastyBot. We're currently sitting at 56.5 wins, so if we want to pass the 60 win mark, we'll need 4 wins in the last 5 games. So it's going to be a tall order, but hopefully we can get a win here in game number 96 to get us started in the right direction. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, we are first, and not a bad opening rack. I think I'll just play proof. Scores pretty well, sets up the S-hook nicely for proofs. So yeah, that seems solid. Bot plays Ponzu for 36, and I draw the X. Fortunately, the N is not in the right spot for me to bingo with desexing. I could play d6 and Ponzus. That's a lot of points. That's 47. So that's a strong option. Could also play something like fixed and hold on to the S. It's probably not worth 15 points, though. Especially since I still have this G, which is kind of a thorn in my side. I don't have a good way, really, to get rid of both the X and the G. So I don't think it's worth a 15-point sacrifice. The nice thing about GI is if I can pull one of the remaining 5 ends, I'll hit proofing for 45. Or 42, rather, excuse me. But still a nice play. So I think d6 looks pretty good. It also takes out the Ponzu's hook if he were to have had or drawn an S after Ponzu. So I think this seems fine. And, well, I do draw proofing, so I imagine that's going to have to be correct. I do have a bunch of garbage to go with it, though. So it's going to keep AGII, which is not a good leave, to say the least. At least I do also float this N by playing proofing, which could work well with my rack for maybe a bingo if I'm lucky, or at the minimum just something that'll help me clean up my tiles. Yeah, I just can't imagine I'm going to have anything better than this. There's certainly no bingos, and it's still 42 points. Okay, so Bob plays Joram for a pretty good score. And I guess I'll probably play Vigia. It's a little risky. It scores very well, though, and cleans up my rack nicely. So I doubt there's going to be anything better. Yeah, I mean, the V there isn't too risky. I could also play Gavial for 20. It's not a crazy idea, just because it does keep things a little tighter, but it's still a 6-point sacrifice, which is substantial. And I don't think a V there is worth 6 points to avoid placing, because I mean, the odds of him hitting a triple-triple with a V there are very slim. And I just don't think it increases his average score all that much. AE is also slightly better than EI as a leave. So I think I'm inclined to go for it. It's not like I'm up much, so I'm not really playing or placing much of a premium on extra defense here. Okay, so Cogito by the bot, and what a draw. We draw 3 more A's, and another E, and an H. So needless to say, not what I wanted. And I guess the question is, do I trade? Or I can score pretty well with Hayes. I mean, it's probably worth it. It's still 31 points. If I can draw at least 2 consonants, this is still salvageable. So I don't think I should give up 31 points in hand. Like, yeah, AAAE is horrible, but it's still 31 points. And like I said, if I can draw 3 consonants, I definitely won't have to exchange. And even with 2 consonants, I've got a decent chance of being able to salvage this pretty well next turn. So I think I'm going to go ahead and play that. Well, now I probably have to trade. I drew another A. And, I mean, I don't have anywhere to play Dada, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I can't, no, not as nowhere near worth it. Yeah, I just have too many A's. I mean, yeah, I have really no good ways to get rid of multiple of these A's. This is just too bad. So, alright, I gotta trade. Probably trade 5 here. Is there some merit to keeping an A because I already have so many? There's only 3 left. Probably not. I mean, there's still 2 blanks and a bunch of S's left. I think I'd rather dig into the bag a little more. I wonder, is it worth looking at trading 7, though? Like, does ED actually do me much good on this board? That's what I'm wondering, because it's probably still worth it to keep. It's the last D. And ED is just good enough in general. Like, it's a bad board now, but it could still get opened up. I think ED still helps my bingo chances next turn enough to be worth keeping. Well, that worked. I draw the blank as well as an S, so I will be bingoing here. Right? Yeah, I have Dartles, okay. I actually didn't see a bingo at first, because Oldster doesn't play. Rustled, Lustered, and Strudel also don't play. I think Dartles might actually be my only one. Is that possible? Really? I mean, it might be, because it's going to have to be a vowel, if I only have one on my rack. And E doesn't make anything, and I doesn't make anything. Yeah, and O is just Oldster, and U is Rustled, Lustered, Strudel, and none of those play on this board. Wow, yeah, I think Dartles is my only bingo. Just kind of surprising, but at least it makes my decision easy. And, okay, and this is not a bad rack at all, because I'm going to be able to score some points. And hopefully, what I'd love to do is overlap here and try to start shutting this board down quickly, since I have a nice lead. And the left-hand side of the board with the C being unoverlappable, and the P is pretty tough to use. So, I guess, I mean, I could play something like Boyer. It scores well. It does open up the left-hand side of the board, though, which I'm not dying to do, like I just said. So it's a bit counterproductive to what I'd like to accomplish from a positional standpoint. Yeah, 4 buy is also very risky. I don't want to put the F there, right? Because then I could give back huge double-doubles. How about here? I mean, I must have something, right? Yao doesn't work. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't really have anything. I don't have any 4s there, I don't think. Because I can't put the R or the W. There's nothing with the F or the Y in the 3rd spot, right? Or the B? Wow. Yeah, I really thought I'd have a decent overlap, but maybe I just don't. Huh. Okay, so then I guess the question becomes, do I want to play Boyer? I could play Frau, but I'm not dying to put a W there. I mean, there's still 2 S's and a blank, so it doesn't seem necessary to do that when I have Boyer available. Is that really my best play? It's definitely not what I want to do for the board. But I do score well. It puts me up 94, so I guess I just sort of take the position that I'm trying to outrun, which isn't crazy. And then it's pretty easy to underlap and kind of reclose if he can't use it immediately. So I think it's fine. Yeah, okay, let's do it. And he plays ads for a decent score, but I'm still up a lot. So what do I want to do here? I guess I could play Rabbit, but that gives back that R, which is a pretty nice lane for him, so I'm not dying to do that. I could just play Fa over here. It's not bad. Could give back big bingos on the 2nd row, though, if he puts a high point tile on this triple water and ends with like EN or ES, something there. So I'm not too keen on that play either. I guess I could be like hyper defensive if I wanted to and play something like both. I don't know. I don't think that makes sense. It can still be reopened with something like Crab. You can play something with ATE. I don't know. I don't think. It's not a crazy idea at this score, but I think it's just a little bit too paranoid at this point. There are probably some players who would do that. It's not crazy, to be honest, at this kind of score. Huh. I could also leave that spot alone. Anything here? Not much. Yeah, I really don't love FAH. Giving back that line. You know, if I do that, I should play BAH. Because that makes it harder for him to overlap. That's probably a reasonable idea. Because then he'd have to have an A to play above there. Granted, it's still quite doable. Yeah, I just don't think both is strong enough, because he can still hit something with this ATE here pretty easily. So how about maybe... Yeah, and 4 also gives back ER. Yeah, I just don't think I can quite close down in a strong enough way to make it worth it. It's an interesting idea, though, and it's certainly not crazy. Yeah, I think I'm going to probably play... You know, another idea is Barfi. That's actually not bad. Because there's no O's left for Obi. There's a blank, but it's going to be tough for him to use the blank as an O. It makes it really hard for him to play a 7. It gives back some lines for 8s. The A and the R are going to score almost nothing. The B is not easy to hit, and it's easy now for me to just play through any of these and really exhaust the board. Yeah, I think I actually really like this, because, like I said, on my next turn, if I can just make any kind of reasonable play through these tiles over here, then I'm going to basically just exhaust the whole left-hand side. There's going to be nowhere left for him to bingo. So I think this is a good, like, 2-turn plan here. Let's do that. Alright, Alibi is a smart play by the bot to try to open up that part of the board. That's a very good play. Now I think I'm going to just play Trihala, though. And it kind of accomplishes the same thing. Like, where is he bingoing now? I mean, the equity play is definitely to play raw, but I don't see a good reason to leave these lanes on top open at this score. I mean, like I said, if I play Trihala, where is HastyBot bingoing? I guess HastyBot could bingo to this P, but, like, that's not going to happen. Yeah, I mean, I think this just wins. Could also play Rehab to this B, but then that leaves some 9 possibilities open, so I think I'm going to play Trihala. I just really have a hard time envisioning losing after that. Okay, yeah, Newsy is a good play to score well and open up a line. I did draw the blank, so do I have any bingos? Crevasse doesn't work. I have to watch out. He could have Autonite. If QNN is in the back, he's threatening Autonite to that E. So I have to be a little careful here. Do I not? I guess I probably don't have any bingos, because where are they going to go? I mean, this is good, right? That I closed the board such that Rack this strong can't even bingo. Of course, I didn't know I was going to draw this well. So now I'm regretting it, but I couldn't have known that. Do I really not have anything to this E? It sort of looks like I should. But maybe I don't. Acervate doesn't work. Yeah, it's possible I don't have anything. So I just, like I said, I need to be careful because I do run the risk of potentially losing to Autonite if I empty the bag and don't play there. And I don't think I can really fish either, because if I try to fish, say with Vela, and he hits Autonite, then if I draw the Q, I think I lose. I don't think I'm going to be able to score enough with the Q. I mean, Quare might be enough under Barfi. Autonite still scores 77. Yeah, that puts him at 360. I think I'm going to lose. So I think I have to just block. Maybe I can do this. Yeah, maybe I can do this, actually. Does he have anything that... Equitant? Quine? That's not... Oh, is there anything with ATE you can have? I don't think so. Uintite? That doesn't even fit. Initiate? Intonate? No. There's... Oh, but no. No, I can't do that. I could give him Quinton as a 7. No, that's terrible. Yeah, that would have been really bad. No. I can't do that. Okay, I have 30 seconds. Let's just be boring. Yeah. Okay. Do I not have a bingo with this? Really? I don't have time. I'm probably gonna miss something. That's too bad. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just gotta go. Oh, I didn't even see his outplay. That's cool. Wow. Yeah, I actually barely won. I kind of panicked there under time pressure. It's like I felt like I had to have a bingo. Wow, Newton threw that A. Nice outplay. I mean, obviously I'm supposed to block that. I mean, did I not have a bingo? I mean, if I missed one, especially if it's a 9, certainly understandable under that time pressure. No, I didn't. Wow. Yeah, so all these plays don't block his out, so I'm probably supposed to play something here. I'm almost certainly supposed to play something there, but I didn't see Newton. So, yeah. Wow, 358 to 342. Pretty ugly game overall. I mean, I think as long as I didn't miss a bingo with V, let me check that. As long as I didn't miss something there, I feel like I played pretty well. Okay, I didn't. Yeah, and I can't do this though, like I said, because if I draw Q and N, he's been going out with Autonite and winning. Like, I'm confident after V, I'm not going to lose. I mean, I guess I didn't actually consider, like, if I draw the Q, though, after V, is that it shouldn't be a problem, because I still have Quair over here for a lot, and Qua. No, I'll be able to use the blank as a U if I don't draw U myself, along with the Q. So drawing the Q is not a danger for me after V. Yeah, that should win 100% of the time. And I just didn't see a good way to fish. Maybe I could have played, like, Eve? Yeah, maybe I can play Eve. But then he just blocks anyway. Yeah, weird game. But let's go back to the beginning. So yeah, proof seems good. Yeah, I think D6 has to be right. It's just a lot of points to give up to hold on to the S there. Aiding is actually not crazy because the leave is a lot better, but 18 is too much to give up. So proofing looks good. Yeah, Vigia has to be right. And yeah, I mean, Hayes keeps horrible leave, but it's still 31 points. Of course, yeah, no, there's absolutely no way I'm playing this. I mean, AADE is pretty bad, and most importantly, it just gives back a huge scoring spot for no reason, for the benefit of 9 mere points and a worse leave. So definitely exchanging there is the play. He might have wanted to exchange here too. Mini keeping EITU. Yeah, I don't think I would have done that. I would have probably traded 5 tiles there, if not even more. Yeah, Dartles was the only bingo. And let's see what I missed here. Yeah, 4x I didn't like. Oh, be worry. That's interesting. I didn't actually see that. I'm not sure I would have done it, though. I still don't like the fact that it gives back a lot of double-doubles, right? I mean, if he has a word ending in ATE, INE, amongst other things, he's going to score 100 points there and get right back into this game. Of course, I mean, this Y is not a huge concern for triple-triples, given it's a Y and there aren't a lot of words with a Y right in the middle, so I'm not too worried about the Y, but it still could be used, and I'm mostly worried about this double-double line. So I think Boyer is probably better for me positionally. Wordy, I didn't actually see either, but I don't want to give back that row, and FEB is too clunky. Yeah, I think Boyer is fine. I wish I'd at least considered those other options, but I think that's fine. So Aidless, I guess, didn't play. So he has to play ads. Ooh! That is sick. Wow. Phobia through a disconnected P, O, and I. That is really hard to see. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think I still like my play. I saw these plays at 3G here, but like I said, they just give back bingo lines on the second row, as well as making the 5th row pretty easy to hit if he has the S. So I wasn't a huge fan of those plays. Phobia sort of just ignores this part of the board, which is also not unreasonable. But yeah, I think Barfly, like I said, has a lot of benefits positionally because there's no O's left for Obi, and I can, as we kind of saw, just start exhausting this whole quadrant of the board on my next play and make it pretty tough for any more bingos to come down. So I think Barfly is very good positionally. Phobia would have been hard to pass up. I think Barfly is actually probably better anyway, though, from win percentage standpoint. Yeah, Alibi is a smart play. Ooh, this is fun too. A lot of fun little insertions that were possible but not played this game. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, Trahal is not a good equity play, but I mean, equity is already kind of meaningless at this point in the game. Like, my priority has to be making sure that my opponent can't bingo, and Trihala does by far the best job of that. So, happy with that play. And yeah, things definitely got more close, a little too close for comfort in the end here. I didn't realize how close this endgame was going to be after V, but I think that's still a good play. He plays Qua, and yeah, I miss his out of Newton on the top row. I just saw NNTTU. I was like, oh, he's got garbage. He's not going out, and I actually got dangerously low on time here. I just was in disbelief I didn't have some sort of bingo, like an overlap on the 6th row, or a 9 through the words Trihala and Barfi or something. And I just kind of spent time and then panicked, and I just slapped down clean with like 4 seconds on my clock. And yeah, I was just prepared to go out with a rip next turn. Did I have another out actually? Yeah, I have Ire down here, which I think I would have hopefully seen. Or I mean, even if I had to, even if he didn't go out, if I had to just play off like QI, I still would have won easily. But yeah, he just goes out with Newton and ends up winning the game, or I end up winning the game still, 358 to 342. He ends up coming close, but still losing by 16. So yeah, kind of just a strange game. Like not a lot of big plays, you know, just a little bit of a slugfest. Actually, Dartles was the only bingo this whole game by either of us. Wow. Yeah, HastyBot didn't even bingo, and I only got one pretty lackluster bingo down. So, you know, these games aren't necessarily as fun, per se, from just a fireworks and cool words standpoint, but they're still definitely interesting, and it's they're very important, because you're going to get a lot of these games, and I feel like, you know, being able to play these kind of games well and kind of keep a level head and do the best you can is what sets the top players apart from the good players. It's kind of easy to get frustrated when you're in this kind of game where you feel like you're always doing a little bit better, but you're never able to quite get what you need to slam the door. It can be a little bit tough, but you got to just kind of stay focused and make the best play you can on every turn, and just kind of try to keep thinking as long-term strategically sound as you can. And I feel like I did a good job of that this game, so I'm happy with how I played. And yeah, you know, it's a low-scoring game, but it was still a good game and an interesting game. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and maybe learned something from it. So yeah, that's it for this one. We now improved to 57.5 wins, so we are drawing closer to the 60 win mark. We've got 4 games to go to win 2.5 games. So more likely we need 3 games than not, unless we get another tie, which, you know, it could happen. We already had 1, so you never know. But yeah, nice win here. So I will look forward to seeing you all for the next game, game number 97, quite soon. Thanks again, guys, and have a good one. Bye-bye.